Mythic Rare here, and thank you to all my A1 Day 1 subscribers. I can't believe that there are 58 of you, and I love how that number just gets bigger every time. Yes, thank you so much. For anybody new or who is just passing through, welcome. This is Adrena by Mermaid Cavern. Yes, I can finally say her name right, in case y'all are wondering where the heck did that joke come from. Click the thing in the iCards and see what I did when I unboxed her. So this is her right here. I had started this not too long ago. I want to say maybe a week ago, just because Winter Girl, like, the colors in it are a lot of dark blues, light blues, grays, white. It just, the color palette was making me have the blues, and I have seasonal affective disorder, so I really did not need to have that adding to it, so I wanted to get something with like bright, punchy colors, and this totally spoke to me. The tray that I'm using is from Bijou Bliss. It's the 2023 Drills and Chills event tray, and I just had some diamonds in there from the night before, so that's why we're using that. You may see me using this. It's my Donna Bass pen. Inside all my multi-placers, there is Randa's Crafty Corner Putty in the scent of champagne. And in all my single placers, I have Paddywaxx Super Sticky. You're going to see this one as well. It's my Enabler's Outpost pen. And of course a straightening wedge in case I place those drills cattywampus. So, last we left off, I was thinking that I was going to get a computer for Christmas, but it turns out I did not. I actually wound up getting a Razer keyboard, and I absolutely love it. I have been in the cult of Razer since actually 2012. Yeah. I think about 2012 was when I got like my hands on my very first Razer product, and I've absolutely been in love with them and have basically been like Razer or nothing um ever since then. I have extremely high standards when it comes to my peripherals because I do on occasion play games. I am what they call a filthy casual. And being a filthy casual, for those who have maybe heard the term tossed around by their kids or by their friends or whoever, but are not like well versed with video games, it's basically where you have played a game enough to be okay with it, but you don't play enough to play it competitively. So that would be like, for example, playing League of Legends, you're just like hopping into Summoner's Rift, 5v5 blind pick. You're not like you're not playing ranked or anything, or you're just hopping on doing ARAM, which stands for all random all mid. And is like totally a completely separate map for those who don't know. Yeah. Like you tend to play the more casual gaming modes, or you play 14, or you play World of Warcraft, and you basically do like the MSQ, you maybe do a few dungeons, a few raids if it's required, da da da. And like that's all that you do. You're focused on more like the relaxing community aspects of gaming, not so much like the competitive, oh, I gotta get this loot, or I gotta get this achievement sort of thing. And of course, if you also work from home, it is very much overkill for working from home, but I think that I actually did kill my Razer Black Widow V2, or it was on its last legs, because the control key was starting to stick and I wasn't able to do like copy paste. Um if anybody else who has ever worked in a call center before knows anything about database management or anything like that, your whole entire life revolves around copy paste. And then it's like my mouse, like the left click on my mouse wasn't wanting to work either. Um, but sadly, my boyfriend did not have enough to get me a new gaming mouse after all the things that he went through with the phone and with the tires and da da da. So I was in Walmart one day shopping for groceries, and they're just like, oh, gear up for second semester. And I just like, oh, a Logitech wireless mouse, $10. And they have it in purple. Gimme. I'm struggling to think what I'm struggling to get what is going to be my next color. I'm thinking. So yeah, it was just after like the new phone, the tires, everything heated, and then like the Christmas presents, cuz he actually shelled out and got his brother Ben a Quest 2, a VR headset. So yeah. Um he couldn't give me a processor, but it's okay, because I got everything that I need to like do my job, and I will eventually get there. But it is no exaggeration that I am a fire hazard. So, if anybody has ever had a computer for any length of time and they have like a really bad storm and like power goes out, or accidentally one too many things get plugged in the house, and then like you blow a fuse, power goes out. The My computer, every few times that I do boot it up, I get the American Megatrends thing come up, and it's basically like your electrical protection from your computer. I don't know if it's like if it if like the power supply triggers something on the motherboard to display it, or I don't know, but whenever you see like the American Megatrends thing come up, it's usually because of like sudden loss of power or something like that. Like there is something electrically wrong or there was something electrically bad that happened with your computer, and I'm like starting to see this quite frequently. So I told Alex, and then he's just like, oh yeah, we kind of don't know how much longer you can go with that computer because there could be a blown capacitor that is inside my power supply or even on my motherboard, and then it's not wanting to, like, my computer isn't wanting to power phase correctly. So that's yeah, sometimes when things like that happen, they can spark and then they can be a legitimate fire hazard. So it's like, okay, great, like, wonderful. The thing that I use for recreation basically like use to spread the word of diamond painting. It's just yeah, that's wonderful. One day I could go to edit a video and then it's just like pff, fire. Um yeah, no, I don't think that's actually gonna happen anytime soon. Um but yeah, it's a sign of things going bad. But that is what I got for Christmas. I got Alex a new wallet. It's a Ridge wallet, so it RFID protects. He has a quick draw on it for his ID. So if he decides, because he's also like very into computers, if he decides to buy a can of compressed air or like maybe he decides to take me out on a romantic date and we go wine tasting and we have to show our IDs. You know, things like that. Like he doesn't have to dig through the stack or anything. He can just like pull out his card and there we go. Honestly, I just think that it's nice, like every single time me and him are out together, that we do not have the RFID checkers at the door going off, because it would be like every other time that we went places, we would get one of those going off. So, what his brother Ben got besides the VR headset from Alex would have been a jar of F bombs from me, like literally these little plastic toy bombs that are meant to look like Fat Man that have a big giant red F on them. Come in a jar with a radioactive symbol on the lid. And he so Ben is in the Navy. So yes, he is a sailor. He um tends to speak that quite fluently. His mom may not appreciate it, so I just gave him a little thing where it's like, hey, you know, if you ever feel so inclined and you can't say the actual word, you can just like, whoop, put it on your desk. You know. And he did say that he's going to actually keep it on his desk because his friends at work are going to think that's hilarious. I also wound up getting him the Ahsoka Starship Lego set. So, that's actually going to be pretty cool when put together. Alex's oldest brother, Ben, or not Ben, Chris, we wound up getting him a dish plate because we went to the mall in the Gamer Exile store. We were trying to find something Final Fantasy for him. We found a thing, but it was so high up, and the employee in the store didn't have a ladder to go get the wooden poster, so that's what we decided to do as an alternative, was get a display for Red Mage, since that's one of his main classes in Final Fantasy XIV, and he absolutely loved it. Alex's mom got two diamond paintings for me. She got the Peanuts Carolers and then the Pink Ribbon of Hope. And because I got the Pink Ribbon of Hope like during October when it was breast cancer awareness, I also got a matching hot pink diamond painting pen from Shimmering Canvases with a row of gems on it. And last but not least, Alex's dad got a thing from me that says it's not hoarding if it's tools. And so then he opens the Christmas card from me and Alex, and we gave him a $200 gift card for Lowe's to get said tools. Also, anybody else have this problem? You have a storage container that only holds like 60 or however many, and your diamond painting kit just like completely overflows it to the point where you almost have to have a handful of drills stored somewhere else, and then you're just like looking for the symbol, and then you're just like, oh, the one that I'm looking for isn't there. Yeah, I'm running into that issue right now. That's why I haven't placed anything. Okay, well, I can do this one. But, yeah, so Christmas was like very much different this year. We didn't necessarily do our traditional things per se. We didn't go see Christmas lights, sadly. We didn't go to church. We just didn't do like a whole lot of things. I think that was due to Alex's mom being under the weather. So it was just, yeah, it was just like a whole bunch of chilling out, hanging out, stuff like that. And his cat, Ben's cat, was staying with us as well because, you know, she is eventually going to get rehomed here. So it was kind of like a trial run to see how is she going to like the environment. And towards the end of her stay, Zesty, the cat, started to come out of Ben's room and started to venture out and stuff. A little bit wary because, like, Allie, it's all Allie's territory, and then she's a newcomer. But she's like, Zesty is a big cat, and she's like wanting to assert her dominance, and Allie's just like, no, I've been here longer. eh. And Zusty's all acting because Zusty's only like 2 years old and she hasn't really been around other cats. So she's all thinking that she has something to prove, and Allie is like, nah, been here, done there, been here, done that, got the t-shirt. Because Allie is like a 13-year-old cat. And what was really hilarious is when Ben had to go back home and he took Zesty with him, as soon as he left, Allie went just like completely zooming all around looking for the other cat. And she was like looking for the other cat for like a few days. And I was just like, oh. So they probably could have been friends had they like stayed longer, but we'll find out sometime in April if that's actually going to be the case. And then there was one night during the holidays where we went out to Logan's and like we all had steak. We met up with one of Ben's friends from, I think, from like high school or elementary school, something. But yeah, like this was somebody who I had never met before. Like I got introduced, and they're very chill. And I believe that this was on Christmas Eve because we actually went kind of late for dinner, and we were just like calling around and like looking around trying to figure out like who was open late, and yeah, eventually it was like, all right, like let's try Logan's because everybody else is like short staffed or they're already full. So we tried Logan's, and that's how we wound up there. um hmm and it was um like Christmas happened on a Monday, right? And then all week I worked, and then Ben went home Friday of that week, and I was just like on cloud nine because it was the last 1:30 to 10 p.m. shift that I would have to work, hopefully for forever. Um, but it was the last one of them that I was gonna have to work for a very long time. So I was just like bouncing off the walls and just like in my feels, just like happy as a clown. Um until Saturday happened. So that Saturday, December 30th, Alex's parents had decided to get a dog. And um I had repeatedly told them, all throughout the year, like, I do not want a dog. I am not ready for a dog. I honestly don't know if I'm ever going to be ready for another dog again. Da da da. But unbeknownst to me, Andrea was feeling kind of unsafe while I was at work because she would be by herself. It's kind of like a combination of lonely and unsafe. because, you know, I'm in here in my room doing what I need to do. I'm working. Alex finally has a job and he's working. And then his dad has a job, and then, like, he goes and he works. So she's unable to work due to health reasons. She had several surgeries last year, because she has a heart condition, um and some of those, like, things, because she had to have a pretty major surgery. It's like after that happened, sometimes she has, like, she'll stand up, she'll get dizzy, and um things like that. So it's like she's not okay to work, and so she just gets kind of lonely. Well, that's kind of the whole reason behind, like, why she was wanting a dog. Um so yeah, I begrudgingly went to go meet the dog that they were gonna adopt, and because I'm thinking, like, okay, I'm gonna have to completely up in my schedule and, like, do all these things, because that's kind of what I did with our previous dog Roger. And then it would be like, whenever something was wrong with him or he, like, needed something, he always went to me, because, you know, I'm the one who's bending over backwards, uh walking him and, like, taking care of him, even though he wasn't, like, technically my dog. So I'm just, like, looking around at all the dogs. I, like, find a few that are really chill, and then I'm just like, well, how about these over here? And Andrea's just like, no, I don't want a dog that has, like, dark colored fur. I want something that's, like, colored. And I'm just like, okay. So we come around to this dog named Riley. She is a cream colored dog, and she's just in there, like, chilling in the crate, and we decide to take her out and, like, try walking her on a leash. She was, like, as soon as she got out, she was just, like, bat out of hell. Go, like, go, 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 go. And Alex had a hard time walking her. Alex's dad had a hard time walking her. I nearly got ragdolled, and we didn't want to see what would happen with Andrea if we tried to walk her. So, because it was, like, on PetSmart's puppy drive, and they had waived the fee for dogs larger than 45 pounds or heavier than 45 pounds. So, yeah, it was the big dogs. But, you know, it's like, I don't own the house. Alex's parents do. Like, I was outvoted. I didn't really have a say in the matter. But, you know, I I do kind of sort of feel some way about it, but, like, I've noticed that since Riley has been here, it's, like, really helped. Um, like, I've seen noticeable improvements in, like, Andrea and stuff, so it's like, you know, like, oh, okay. Like, like still feel kind of like, I don't like I didn't agree to this, but if it's what you need, it's, you know. If it's what you need, it's what you need, I guess. I think that it was like really telling. Um and it's just been very, oh goodness. I don't know how to say this, but here is, this is basically where rubber is starting to meet the road with me having done BetterHelp for almost a year. Because before it was like I would bend over backwards, I would do whatever Alex wanted, what his parents wanted, da da da. And when they decided to take Riley home, they had to buy a crate for her and they had to buy a crate mat. And I had like literally exhausted everything that I possibly could without, you know, putting any of my bills or utilities or anything into jeopardy. Um, I had exhausted my bank account. I was just like, yeah, I'm, my pockets are inside out. I'm gonna be eating ramen every other day this week if I get bored of eating ham, because yeah, that's like kind of where I'm at right now. And Andrea and Ron were just like, well, we can't pay for it because of Christmas too. So then Alex was like, okay, I'll pay for it. So there was that. And then it's just been one thing after the other with this dog, because we got Riley during the New Year's holiday, so some of us still had time off of work, and she wasn't getting the full idea of what our routine was actually going to be like. So she, when Andrea had to start going to physical therapy and that again after the holiday, and the dog was inside the house, like, oh my goodness, she would whine up a storm because I think she just like got so attached to her that, or to Alex's parents, that like as soon as they're gone, she just like completely freaked out. And we weren't mentioned that or anything on the notes the Oklahoma from the Oklahoma City animal shelter that got her, and subsequently did the puppy drive through PetSmart. Like basically all that they've said is that she's had some obedience training, but she's horrible with cattle. And I am just like, well, you know, it's an Australian cattle dog. They're like, that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna push the cattle around and they're gonna herd them. So like those first few days, they were absolutely horrible. I was taking ibuprofen all around the clock just because when Andrea went to her therapy appointment and stuff, like like just like she'd last 20 minutes, and then she would just start howling and yelling and like carrying on all the things. It made it almost impossible for me to do my job. But luckily we have so many final payments and things due for reservations that I was just like, I'll volunteer. I don't want any of my regular callers to hear any of this. I'll volunteer. So I went, and I did that for a few days. And we tried doing a geofence for her. So it's basically where the GPS satellites will scan for these location beacons on your property and stuff, and then they'll and they sync up with a particular caller that will deliver a small shock to the animal that decides to wander out of the geomarkers. Well, that didn't so much as work with our property because just about all 5 acres, except for the teeny little bit that the trailer is on and the driveway to get to said trailer, are wooded. So that didn't work. So we returned it, and then we had just gotten a pulley system, and we clipped it between the one big tree out by our front deck and then one of the other big trees that's probably like 12 feet or so away from it. So it's kind of like you have the equivalent of a zip line, but for the dog. The dog isn't like flying around in the air and stuff. Like, no. The dog stays on the ground, and there's a pulley in between these two trees now, and you can hook a leash onto the pulley so the dog can run like back and forth and whatever in between the two trees. And it appears to go out almost like 15 feet or so. So she has like, if any squirrels hop down from the tree, she can chase them a little bit. Like she can, like she has the freedom to like run and walk around, stuff like that, but without leaving our yard. And this pulley system is rated for dogs upwards of 200 pounds, so there's like no way she's getting off this thing. But we've had some instances, and I'm still actually kind of afraid to go out of our house without me notifying somebody. It's been like very psychologically trippy this last like week to week and a half, because Riley just like, she's, from what we have on the history from PetSmart, is that she's been in the shelter since October of 23. And you know, it may be one, sometimes two dogs to a crate. So that's like, you know, really cramped and things. Like she sees the outdoors, she sees squirrels out there, birds, whatever. She wants to get out and she wants to go run and like chase and like live her best dog life. Well, I think it was like the second or third day that she was here. She accidentally got out, and I had sat out on the deck like calling for her before my shift started, and like she didn't come, and I had to start work. So I told Andrea, like, hey, look for her. I think I saw her over here, but my shift's starting. Like, I gotta go. So after Andrea got dressed and everything, she went out on the deck and she saw Riley just chilling out on the deck. So she let her in. And then and it's like, this dog, like, I feel like we are just like flying blind. Either the owner intentionally didn't like divulge everything, or the shelter didn't divulge everything to us, one or the other, because I'm starting to notice like certain behaviors with this dog, and like everybody else in the family is too, that like we were not told about. Like, we were not told that she had separation anxiety. We were not told that she was not housebroken. Yeah. Yeah, imagine adopting an animal and not finding that out. So then one day you're just like randomly going out of your bedroom or your home office, and you just like get a big whiff, and you see that there are mud monkeys on the floor in a high traffic area. But oh, it gets a lot better, because we have a dog and we have a cat. You know how sometimes they can get into it. There was one time when Allie was about to go in the litter box, and Riley just comes up on her, and Riley's wanting to play with Allie the cat. And the cat is like, no, I like need to, like, no, I don't want to play with you. I want to go take a poo, leave me alone. And then Riley starts chasing her, and she's all trying to squat at the same time. And we're just like seeing a trail. A trail of them. All next to the litter box. And we're trying to be mindful about like letting Riley out more and stuff, like giving her treats when she's going on walks and things, like encouraging her. And she doesn't pee. She doesn't hardly poo outside. And wouldn't you know it, as soon as she gets inside, everybody's like all doing their thing and whatnot. I was sitting here one time just like playing games, and she peed on my rug. There was another time where Alex kind of left her unsupervised, and she peed on his rug. So it's like occasionally here and there, and it seems like it happens like right about the time that I'm gonna go eat, like every single time without fail. Either I'm on my break for lunch and I only have 30 minutes to eat, or I'm about to eat breakfast and then start work very soon, and it's like I have to don the latex gloves and I have to be the human pooper scooper, because this dog clearly is not housebroken. At this point, I am almost willing to bet a whole entire next paycheck that the previous owners had either kept Riley locked up for extremely long periods of time, not like because, you know, they're going to sleep, she needs to go to sleep, get in your crate sort of thing, but more like they just kept her because they were afraid that she was going to run off or like get into it with the cattle or who knows. Like, we're thinking they either kept her locked up, tied up for a very long time, or she was outside on the farm the whole entire time and things, and she could just go and like do whatever. And I'm kind of just like, it kind of like, well, it is what it is. Like, we can't undo the past or anything, but it's, you know, it gets aggravating because who would honestly want to be just like, you know, trying to get their day started, making a cup of coffee or whatever, and they don't even have their glasses on yet, so they can't like fully see, and then you accidentally step in it. Or you're trying to get out the door to go to a doctor's appointment and you step on a mud monkey that you didn't even realize was there. Like, seriously, it has been Revenge of the Mud Monkeys. Like, I clean them up, Alex cleans them up, his parents clean them up, and then we try to let her outside to restore her personal comfort, and nothing happens. She comes back inside, she poos. It's just, and it got to the point where Alex and I decided, like, you know what? We know what's gonna happen, and it has happened so many times in both of our hallways that we just straight up put puppy pads right outside the threshold of our doors, of each of our doors, and we just like hopscotch around them. And the funniest thing is of this whole entire craptastic situation is the fact that neither of those puppy pads have been defaced with brown logs or pea puddles or anything. They are just as pristine as they were from the moment that they first came out of the box. And all of the mud monkeys and pea puddles wind up near the litter box for the cat. So, like, I don't know if Riley just doesn't like the cat and she just, like, wants to dominate the area with her scent, or, like, she doesn't like the cat. She doesn't like the smell from the cat scat, so she's, like, just trying to cover it up. I don't know. Like, y'all tell me. Because honestly, I am just like tired of depositing brown logs into the trash can. Like, pick your euphemism for poo. I have probably said it this week. Well, it is getting late. Alex needs to work. I need to have an early morning tomorrow to go do allergy shots, and therefore I need to go to bed. So, if any of y'all have made it to the end, please put a poop emoji into the comments below. Have a good night, or have a good day, or a good whatever. Bye.